Like, for those who know, just think Black Wall Street. That's essentially what Tyler Perry has just created in Atlanta, in our day and in our time. And whether you feel the work that he does or not with the whole Medea thing, I know as a community we debate back and forth about the whole, why does a man have to dress up as a woman and yada, yada. This man then employed over 5,000 people in a year. We talking multiple studios and productions and all kinds of things. So I do believe that at some point, like, we gotta look at the criticism and say, okay, yes, perfection is not, that's never going to be attained. You're never going to have a perfect prototype. But when you look at the bigger picture and put some things into context and think about, okay, what does this do for our community? What doors does it open? How does this shift the game? How does this shift the balance of power in any way, shape, or form? And then how do we as a community, you know, with all of that knowledge, want to, you know, move forward? How do we want to move forward with that? Like, that's some things that we gotta, I feel like, take into consideration with this. And his whole thing is dream bigger. And I feel like just with that message in general, that's a great Motivation Monday message, is dream bigger. Like, whatever it is that you are envisioning for yourself, dream bigger. I don't care if that's a new couch set, right? I don't care if that's groceries being filled in the refrigerator this week. Dream bigger than that. Forget the groceries being in the, I'm not going to say forget, but, you know, yes, secure the groceries, secure those grocery bags, right? But dream bigger than that. What does a new refrigerator look like? You know what I mean? Like, and what does it take to get to that kind of place in life where you can make that kind of purchase? You know what I mean? Like, just that dream bigger mentality, I think is so dope. And to see that we have folks like Sidney Poitier, Diane Carroll, who passed away this weekend, transition, God bless her soul, her family, a legend. Yes, it's Man Crush Monday, but it's Diane Carroll, y'all. We not, have a seat. we have a seat for her. You know, just to see that kind of honoring happening on a space, a land that was once Confederate ground, and now a Black man owns it and is ushering in the daughters and sons and granddaughters and grandsons of, and non-binary, everybody, you know what I mean, like, of our ancestors. That's got to mean something. That's got to stand for something. And hopefully for someone out there, it's a North Star for you. It's an indication of the direction that you can go to, of the heights that you can reach, for whatever goal or dream it is, whether it's in film or in that kind of industry or not. Just know that literally no limits. Don't put a limit on yourself, okay? Motivation Monday. Anywho, speaking of motivation, I mean, I think I have the right guy in the room who can speak to some of that. His name is Rashawn Howard. He's an alignment coach, right? Talking about aligning with those bigger dreams and with just that grander vision that you have for yourself. I think he can talk us through some of that. He's an entrepreneur as well. He's here to discuss his experience going from being a young Black man exposed to the banking and financial industry, right? Like as a path for employment, to then rising the ranks, you know, at a well-known bank, and then transitioning from that into entrepreneurship with a desire to empower others in the Black community. So, Rashawn, welcome to the lounge.
Thanks for having me. Thanks so much for having me.
You know, they say
you got me amped up. I'm excited.
Look.
You know, I'm just listening. I'm like, woo. I thought I was already motivated, but I'm ready to, as soon as I leave here, I got some work to do.
Listen.
Man.
So we do this thing called like question of the day. And the question of the day today was, who is a Black man deserving of more credit than he's been given?
Mm.
Who's a black man deserving of more credit than he's been given? And Loves, if you want to chime in on that, feel free to 215-634-8065. That's the number. You can also call in toll free 866-361-0900. I want to know, who is a black man deserving of more credit than he's been given? We hear so much about black men, and it's not, I gotta be honest, as a black woman, even when I see it, when I hear it, it's not always positive. And I want to hear black men called out by name. By name for the amazing works that they're doing. And they don't have to be celebrities. They don't have, like, the black men that's every day showing up doing the work that they do. Like, let's give them their flowers right now on the airwaves. Like, this is energy. This is so important. Who's a black man deserving of more credit than he gets? Shout him out. Let him know.
That's
so
deep.
like, let us create space to tell him, yo, bro, I see you. We appreciate you. So that's our question of the day.
All right.
I don't know if you know a black man that you might want to shout out. Maybe it's yourself.
No.
That's okay too.
I leave the accolades for others to bring my way. But I mean, just on a local level, one, I can shout out a business partner right off the bat, a couple business partners. My 26-year-old business partner, DeJuan Matthews, who had a hard way to go in life and is doing great things in the Norristown community. My frat brother and business partner, Super Dave Hudson, who is changing the dynamic of realty in West Philly. Those people are grinding and going to work every day, and I'm not sure they're receiving all the credit that they deserve as strong black leaders in the communany. So I guess we can get started there with some local guys that's in my circle that's doing great things.
If we all start there, listen, how many more will we know if we all start with who we know?
That's true.
You know what I mean? Like, if we all just start shouting out the people that we know, how many more would other people know about? Like, that, it's just that simple. Shout out the folks that you know. Acknowledge them, give them light, give them platform when you get light and when you get a platform.
Exactly.
Right? Because you're on the airwaves, the radio airwaves, and all in the digital space right now. So let folks know who you are and what you do.
Yes. So, as mentioned, my name is Rashawn Howard. I am the alignment coach. What does that mean? I'm helping you live a life by design and not by default. See, I use the linear equation y equals mx plus b because that y-axis is your goals. Now, you got me excited talking about Tyler Perry and how he talks about dream bigger, dream bigger. Well, that's what y is. Get to the top of that axis, dream bigger. Dream bigger than you ever dreamed before. Dream bigger than your parents. Dream bigger than your great-grandparents. Dream bigger than our heritage as a whole. Dream bigger. But then the x-axis. Do you want to rise or do you want to run? We're so busy running in this life that we don't stop to realize that we can rise. And there's an easier way to get to the dream where we want to go if we just sit back, be consistent, and believe in the process. So that's a little bit about what I do on an everyday basis, whether it's giving financial literacy, motivation, or writing a book that, people need to go purchase. And keeping people in order.
This book a little bit, because let me tell you about this thing right here. And y'all might hear the mic move because it's that big. Let me tell you about this book real quick, right? So those who are tuned into the lives, Instagram Live at Sincerely Sarita, we're over there. And then Facebook Live at Word TV, at The Lounge Word. Y'all see me holding up this textbook, right? Almost. Like, it's that big. And we were talking offline before we got on air, and I was like, yo, this book is huge. Like, in a day and age where so many authors and writers, influencers, where they're going smaller, right? It's all about like bite size, boom, 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 give it to them really quickly. Even in terms of the actual product itself. Yeah. We're going smaller. You decided, we're going to have this big thing right here.
Yep. See,
why
listen,
this?
I was nervous about it, but you have to be what you preach, right? So I took the leap because that book is authentic. It's what's gotten me where I am, everything in it. So I write big. I use notepads. I use the spiral composition books, not the small ones. So if that's what I'm using, if that's what helped me get to where I am, And if I'm going to help people get to where I am and beyond, I got to show them only the way I know how. So, you know, I put a focus group together and I said, listen, guys, we got these options. And once they saw the product, they're like, no, we need to be able to write. We need to be able to see what we're doing. We're talking about setting goals, holding yourself accountable, and looking at what you're doing on an everyday basis. You can't put that small. That has to be big. So that's the purpose of the book being where it is. It's mentality of success. It's like Tyler Perry said, dreaming bigger, right? So why would I put that in a small book?
Okay, I can see that. I can see that. I'm not mad at it. No, but in terms of your own journey and like what you have used within your own steps to then now turn around and help other people develop a mentality of success. I shared a little bit about how, you know, you were this young black man who was exposed to the banking and financial industry. And when we were talking earlier today, that was one of the things that I was really just speaking on and hearing your story is like, when I'm working with a lot of the young people that I do, I don't, you know, and I'm asking them about their dreams or, you know, their pathways, employment, that kind of stuff. The banking, the finance industry, those are not options that
we run from it for whatever
hear
reason.
Come up like, and I'm a writer, so I'm gonna be real. Like, math was never really my thing. Okay, it just really wasn't. Business, and here's what I think like is worth distinguishing. Business, I enjoyed, like the strategic relationship building, problem solving, like. Identifying a gap in the market, corner in the market,
But
you know
see,
what I mean,
that's
like
finance.
positioning. But when
That's
it came to the
finance.
numbers, though, the numbers, I was like, oh no.
That's what I do every day. That's finance.
Yeah, no, you got that. But, so I'm curious to know for you, like, what exposed you to the banking and financial industry as like a pathway to success, as employment?
That's a really good question. First, shout out to my mom. Because she is the first person that really introduced me to what it meant to have a relationship with finance. See, I don't think we're aware that finance is a relationship. It's not a thing. It's a relationship. And if you have a bad relationship, if your family has a bad history with it, that can become hereditary. So my mom did a great job for me and my siblings to kind of help break that curse. But when you talk about my exposure to the banking industry, it started at LaSalle University, where I went to school. So I thought I was going to be a budget analyst. So I went to school to be an accountant, not really to follow my mom's footsteps because she's an auditor, and that's boring.
Don't take shots at her like that.
You know, but I love
All
my
her
mom.
life.
I love my mom, and she loves what she does. I just can't do it.
Right.
But when I joined Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, shout out to Phi Beta Sigma, best fraternity from East to West. I did a lot of one-on-one mentorship, and so I sat with my academic advisor at LaSalle my senior year, and we talked about career goals. And Rashawn, where do you want to go? You didn't do any internships. You worked for a cell phone company most of your college career. Now you're interning at a life insurance company, but you're making a difference in people's lives every day. Rashawn, I think that you need to help people on a one-on-one basis. And like I said earlier, I love the relationship with finance. So he said, Rashawn, I think you should look at working in banking. And it was something I'm like, I don't know. What do you do in the bank? You know, like, I'm a millennial, so I didn't make many trips to the bank, you know, other than going to Commerce to put my coin in that I saved and to hand that in. So listening to my advisor, I said, okay, tell me a little bit more about what I can do in a banking institution and how is that connected to my degree. When you talk about wanting to be a budget analyst and you're helping people in banking on a one-on-one basis, you're helping people budget their lives. They walk in, they think they're just going to open up a checking and savings account. But what they don't understand is these bankers have goals too. And it's not just coming in to put your name on a checking account and you're going to walk out. No, we have this whole sheet that we have to ask you what your goals, your aspirations are while you're opening up the checking account. And that really got me excited when I learned what that process was, because I said, you know what? This is what I want to do. This is why I thought I wanted to be a budget analyst, because it really is getting deep into people's understandings of how they utilize their money and what they're going to utilize their money for. So I was excited to get started in banking. I couldn't wait.
Mm. Shout out to folks like you, because we need y'all. We need y'all out here so that y'all can empower and support and all that good stuff. You know, educate us.
Yes.
When we give y'all banking institutions our dollars. But all right, we got to take a quick break. When we come back on the other side, we're going to take some calls. We're going to learn a little bit more about your mentality of success and how that enabled you to kind of step up the ranks at a bank and then, you know, just kind of leap from there and transition into entrepreneurship.
That's exactly what
right?
it was.
Okay, it always is. It's always a leap. So, Diane out of South Philly, Mo out of North Philly, we see you all. I see, you know, want to chat about mentorship, question of the day, all that good stuff. So hang on the line. We're going to take this break, pay these bills, play this song real quick, you know, get the vibes going. And then we'll come right back. All right, loves, you're in the lounge, WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. I'm your host, sincerely, Sabrina, BRB.
Brothers and sisters!
Don't miss The Source.
Weekdays 10 a.m. to 1 p.m.
on WURD Radio.
WURDradio.com and the WURD Radio app. The Lounge with Sincerely Sarita.
Hey, Sonia, welcome to the lounge.
The most successful mentor-protege relationships ride on the determination of the protege. Mentors typically will not knock themselves down to save those coming in the door. Your drive and your ambition is what maintains it for you.
Don't miss The Lounge
Monday through Thursday, 7 p.m. till 10 p.m.
on WURD Radio 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD.
Black Talk Media.
This is WURD Radio.
Independent Black Media.
Join WURD Radio for the EcoWord Environmental Justice Summit, Sunday, October 20th from 2 p.m. till 5 p.m. at Bartram's Garden, 5400 Lindbergh Boulevard. This unique green event will feature lightning talks about the connections between race, income, and the environment, locally, nationally, regionally, and especially in Philadelphia. Featuring John Francis, author of Planet Walker and The Ragged Edge of Silence, Janine Kayembe, founder of Life Do Grow Farm, Zuline Mayfield, environmental activist, Joanne Douglas, program manager of the Watershed Interpretation and Youth River program at Bartram's Garden, and a special talk and musical performance by Ill-Fated Natives. The summit will also feature Wasted, an EcoWord photo exhibit by Zamani Feeling, a livelihood green sector job resource exhibit, and a healing drum circle by Music Over Matter. Refreshments will be served, but you must RSVP. Register today at wordradio.com or call 215-425-7875. Supported by the Wincoat Foundation.
Family Therapy Vignette Moments with Dr. Lucille Ijoy. The call is out. Don't make me shout. Go learn about the new voting machines. The new voting machines. Register. Vote. We must. And don't let nobody turn you around. The call is out. Don't make me shout. Go learn about the new voting machines. The new voting machines. Register. Vote. We must. And don't let nobody turn you around.
WURD TV. We're streaming live video of this conversation right now.
Tune in on YouTube at onWURD
Or on Facebook at ForWord.
WURD TV.
Black Talk Media.
The Lounge with Sincerely Sarita. Sincerely Sarita. Right now on WURD Radio.
The whole industry been in shambles. Everybody fugazi, I'm just changing the channel. Kendrick Lamar, the people's champion, I'm animal for analysts. Career damaging verses, meditating when candles lit. I like my raps extra prolific. Some freestyling on lunch tables and park benches. And I won't mention my 10,000 hours in training while juggling game banking. My balancing was tremendous. And now we look at the competition as quick submissions. They tapping out before we even get a chance to miss them. What this about, is it money or skill? Maybe it's both, and I got large amounts of it, it's real. You see, my oath is very unbreakable. My style is never mistakable. I can see y'all incapable. Who be the god MCs, you know me well. Ridiculous, venomous, hate in my heart. The sinister, run for cover, my lineage prove itself. I'm rolling deep in their paper like two Adele's. Before scholars, I flow tighter than virgin lips. We here to shake the game up and you're flying through turbulence. Everything is high stake nowadays. That's how I play nowadays. It's like an 8-ball to the face nowadays. I'm laced nowadays. My gun is off the waist nowadays. It's 7 figures and retainer for the case nowadays. I'm talking higher power every other hour since Eddie Bowers and stash boxes and lead showers. Breaking the padlock and the dead coward. Dying 1,000 deaths. Entire lions surround itself with bears watching. Can you share profit? This is what they want, I'm the one. This is vintage from 1980-some. I'm the son of the pioneer that got you, son. Play with him, you better off voting for Donald Trump. I'm yelling Mr. Kanye West for president. He probably let me get some at the residence. I'm in the White House going all out, bumping college dropout. God bless Americans. Nothing more influential than rap music. I merge jazz fusion with the trap music. I mix black soul with some rock and roll. They never box me in, I'm David blaming now you. Oh yeah, let's go there. My DNA is DMT, I'm so rare. My juvenile was wilder than the no yeah. A locomotive, couldn't track me down in my co-rap. Running this with 4 pair. Son of a I might demolish you right in front, yeah. Chico, what have you done here? Debo, all of it 1 year. Mississippi to California, it gets annoying, yeah. Just wanna deploy him and wanna adore him, but industry shaming for him. Probably thinking it's for him, only with me. Swallow the key and kicking the door in. Never leasing my foreign. Mr. Valedictorian, studied the game before them. Listen to you, abort them. Baby rappers support them. To the grave I deport them. Corporations extort them. I'm snapping off my endorphins. An alien mighty morphin. My radius rather gorgeous. 100 bill to the doorman. 100 million my fortune. They call me back in the morning. You're racing against the tortoise. Pace myself is important. Lace myself with the wisdom. My player is a enormous. So pay them in for performance. Saucy Harlow my garments. Jimmy Kendrick's performing. The studio haunted. I tell him, don't sweat me. I kill it so beat if cold, let me. Please call. Eve should've never sent the instrumental. Every time I start writing, I get sentimental. But it's just not fair. But why the should I care? The story of your life here. 2 young stars was born and y'all go die here. Oh Lord, gotta be the yam. Billboard list need Tupac down. But number 9, make sure he lives on, yeah. Oochie, coochie. In a trance, every day is celebration. But even the valley peak to me is not validation. This TDE and my doggies be salivating. Salaries, better ratings, and casualties all around me. Gonna make me do demonstrations. Wow.
Kendrick Lamar with Black Friday featuring J. Cole. You're in the lounge on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. That's a whole vibe, okay?
Yes.
That's a Monday motivation vibe. Shout out to Benzie Diaz. I know it's a Man Crush Monday, but shout out to Benzie, because this morning I posted on Instagram Nipsey Hussle. I woke up this morning and I was in a Victory Lap album mode. I was just like, I need to hear Nipsey today. I need like dedication. I need to hear. Now you hear what I've been saying. Like I needed that vibe. It was in my blood, so I shared that. That was what I was listening to, and come to find out, she was playing the album too. And so we tagging each other on Insta stories. Rest in power, Nipsey Hussle, on this here Man Crush Monday. All that good stuff. Motivation Monday, Money Monday, all that good stuff. But we got callers on the line, right? We back in the lounge, WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. I'm your host, Sincerely Sarita. And so, let's get to some calls. We've been talking a bit about mentorship. We kicked off the show talking about that, and I actually got to welcome. It's weird to call him my mentee because I call him my little brother now. Like if someone asks me, I have a sister that's 10 years older than me, blood sister. I don't even really differentiate. It's just, I got a big sister that's 10 years older than me, and I got a little brother, and he's my little brother. So it's just weird to even think of us as a mentee-mentor situation, but that's really how it started, and it just kind of bloomed from there. And now, our families are connected, and we family, y'all. Like that's it. And I think that's the beauty of mentorship. Like that's a level that it could reach. Doesn't have to, but You know, it's just like, wow, that's how much you can impact someone's life and they can impact yours. So we have Diane, Miss Diane out of South Philly. She wants to call in on mentorship. Hey, how you doing?
How are you? The young kids always say, you are the bomb. I'm saying, you are the bomb.
Boom.
I'm
No,
enjoying all
thank you.
I'm enjoying all your guests tonight. And the last question you asked was, who do you think that is not getting all the credit? They're doing a good job, but they're not getting all the credit that they deserve.
Right.
Is it okay for me to answer that question?
Absolutely. We're looking to highlight black men who aren't getting the credit they deserve.
I want Bryant Green. He's the owner of the health care, Always Best Care. That young man, he always out there helping others, like the Lupus Foundation and the Alzheimer's Foundation, the zoo on the board. He always giving. His company always giving. And I admire that young man. He's always on the go, helping out. And I seen him I'm totally blind. My husband told me he seen him. We was both in the bank, and he just act like I know he's a regular person. Don't get me wrong, but he act like he was normal, like he was just a nobody. But he's somebody. Everybody's somebody. But I admire all the things that he does. I really do.
Well, I'll tell you what. I hope somebody get word to Brian Green that Miss Diane out of South Philly said that she feels like he is a black man who, is not getting enough credit for the work that he does. And so she made sure that she did her part in highlighting him and shouting him out here on WURD Radio. So, Miss Diane, thank you so much for calling in and chiming in and shouting out Brian Green. We appreciate you. Let's go to Mo out of North Philly. He wanted to comment on the question of the day as well. Hey, Mo, welcome to the lounge.
Yeah, how you doing?
I'm good. I'm good. Yourself?
Yeah, I'm doing fine. Yeah, one man I feel don't get enough credit, and today is his birthday, is the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. All of his students and stuff that is well known around the world, was Malcolm X or Minister Farrakhan or Muhammad Ali. He rose all of them up, and the whole world respect all these men, and they judge a tree by the fruit it bears. And there was a fruit that came off his tree, and they still have influence. And plus, he had the best drug rehabilitation program that wasn't funded with one penny from the federal government, that got people off of heroin within 3 days. And the brother told me how they was able to do it. That with people that was strung out on dope for years and years and years, within 3 days, he said they would get them off the dope. They put them on a 3-day fast, and after 3 days, they do the fast correctly. They left that dope alone, never looked back. And you look at the life of Malcolm, he was a pimp, a drug user, a drug pusher, but he changed his life around. Same thing with Minister Farrakhan. He'd tell you he smoked reefer. He was a musician. Look at Ali. He was nothing but a big, dumb country boxer from Louisville, Kentucky, named Cassius Clay. But after Elijah Muhammad straightened him up, the whole world recognized him as Muhammad Ali. Even in his days of his sickness, he can get out of his car right there in the middle of Broadway and stop traffic. People run up to him and give him, ask for his autograph and respect him because of what he did when he followed Elijah Muhammad. He stood up against the government of America and refused to go in the military and fight for these countries. Because like he said, the big car never called him an N-word. And that his fight was right here in America with these devils over here, not over there in the jungles of Vietnam. So I would have to say on this, happy birthday, Elijah Muhammad, and I would have to give credit to him on his birthday, that he don't get the credit that he deserved because he brought a lot of people out of darkness, whether people want to admit it or not.
Gotcha. Yeah, and thank you for creating space, and that's why I love these questions of the day, because it's not always about what we as a station or me as a host or whomever, like what we have on our radar. What's more important is what and who you have on your radar as Word family, right? Like that's the beauty of the lounge, is all of us being able to make sure we're bringing our experiences, we're bringing our perspectives, we're bringing those folks that mean something to us to the light. And this question, I think, really gives the opportunity for us to do just that. And if you missed the question of the day, if you're just tuning in and you just heard Mo speaking, he was responding to the question of the day, which is, who is a black man deserving of more credit than he's been given? And you can call in to chime in 215-634-8065. Or you can also call in toll free, 866-361-0900. But listen, I'm chatting with Rashawn Howard. He is the alignment coach. He's an entrepreneur. He's here to discuss his experience going from a young black man exposed to the banking and financial industry to rising the ranks within a bank, and then eventually becoming an entrepreneur with the desire to empower others in the black community. So, Rashawn, let's walk through kind of, big picture, somewhat quickly, what your rise in the bank looked like. You started where, and then you moved to where, and then you moved to where, and then you got to where?
Gotcha. So fairly quickly, 8 years, 7 promotions. And how did I get there? Consistency in the process. That's why I preach that over and over and over and over and over again. But understanding that it's good to reevaluate where your goals are and where you want to be, because there's going to be certain things that happen where you might want to change. Don't be afraid to change. Keep going. So I started off as a universal banker. I like to say, I'm in a fraternity, so I don't use this word lightly, but you put the skates on because you do the teller work, you do banker work, you work in both sides. And you don't always receive the respect at the bank when you're behind the teller line, because that's how the clients look at you. You're just a teller, right? Here's my money, throwing it on the counter, count that up, put that in where it needs to go. Universal banker, assistant branch manager, licensed banker, junior advisor, senior advisor with my own territory in King of Prussia. How did I get to those places? One, you're talking about mentorship today, right? Motivation Monday, Man Crush Monday, Mentorship Monday, Money Monday. Mentorship is so important no matter what you're doing, because there's always somebody that has the experience that you're looking for, that's been where you want to go, that can walk you through where you need to be. I was lucky enough that my second manager at the banking institution that I was at was my mentor, and it's still my mentor. She rose the ranks in the banking institution as an African-American woman, an island woman, very strong-willed, which we might say, okay, someone that's a strong-willed African-American woman has a hard time in the corporate industry. Not this young lady. Not this young lady. And not only did she rise, she brought people with her. She helped get my cousin promoted in the banking institution. And she helped promote so many other African-Americans behind her, including myself. And so the conversation was hard at first because, I don't really like being told what to do. I'm this young 22-year-old in this banking institution, and I'm a hotshot. I'm the top banker in the country, and I can do what I want to do. Well, not under this person. And, I want to shout her out, Marcia Lawrence. She was a great mentor, and if you're watching, you are a great mentor, and I know you're still doing the same for others with what you're doing today. But I give her a lot of the credit, especially for my beginning success, because I was all over the place. And she showed me what it meant to rise in the corporate world. I didn't care, no filter. I'm going to do what I want to do when I want to do it. But that's not how you rise in the corporate world. Sometimes you have to humble yourself and realize there's no chip on your shoulder. You just got to look at what's being done and do it and grind. And remember that as long as your name is continual on their front lobe, you're good to go. But it has to be on their front lobe for a good reason, not for a negative reason. So, that's a quick synopsis of how I rose in the banking institution.
And curious to know, like, did you ever reach a moment, and it's, let me pause. Because in thinking about Man Crush Monday, right, when I was thinking about, like, this discussion around mentorship, and I'm like, yo, I got to bring my mentee on. In my head, Lil Bro. Like, I got to bring Lil Bro on or whatever. And I'm like, but I'm a black woman who mentored a young black man, right? Like, and is that the layers of that in itself? You know what I mean? Like, you have the gendered layers of, like, a woman mentoring a man at any point and how folks perceive that. But then the black magic layer, the black girl magic layer of like a black woman mentoring a young black man, and how that's perceived. And so then to hear you speak about this impact that a mentor of yours has had, and she's a black woman, like I can honestly say I have spoken with black women who have been very transparent about the fact, and just women in general, I should say, who have been very transparent about the fact that they have experienced certain challenges because of the fact that a man was not okay with receiving direction, guidance, correction, whatever, from a woman. So curious to know from a man's perspective who has had a woman who's mentored him, what enabled you to be able to get the most out of that relationship, that mentorship, and recognize that, like, wait, this is like, there's something here, and and she can teach me something. Like, what was that for you?
Two things. Number one, I was raised in a house where all my mom had to do was look at me. And I knew I had to change something in that moment, okay?
Yo,
so that alone could go a far way out in the world. But secondly, for me, it's simple. Male, female, I don't care who you are, white, black. If you express to me that you know what the heck you're talking about, and you can help get me to the next level, I'm listening. I don't care how you're going to do it. You can scream at me, you can curse at me. If I see where you are and you're getting it because you're an expert at it, you know what you're talking about, you're knowledgeable, I'm listening. Now, I might be different in that way, you know, and that's why, you know, we knocked heads because I'm strong-willed, she's strong-willed at first, but I had to subdue myself and understand she cares about me generally, and she wants to see me succeed. And when you see that somebody cares about you, there's a trust factor there. You know, and that alone, seeing in her eyes, our one-on-ones, the way she talked to me, calling and asking me about certain personal things that was happening during that time, not just at work, but taking that time. That's important for a mentor, male or female. You need to take time with your mentees and show them that you care. That's how you build the trust, and that's how you're really able to make an impact in your mentee's life. That's what she did. And I've been lucky that, you know, she was my mentee in banking, but for some reason, everywhere I go in my fraternity, I have a multitude of mentors. And I've been lucky, but it's really about pouring that energy into your mentee and show them that you care. But it's important that when you're talking, you need to talk with knowledge. Because I'm a guy that if you're not talking with knowledge, I'm going to smell it and I'm going to take advantage of it.
Lord. Clearly, we're going to take advantage of this break. All right, loves, if you're just tuning in, we're talking a few things because it's Monday, top of the week. So, you know, there's some motivation, there's some money, there's mentorship, there's so much more, but it's all centered around the intentional appreciation of our marvelous men. So shout out to all of the men out there, the black men in particular. We see you, we love you, we appreciate you. I'm chatting with Rashawn Howard. He's an alignment coach and entrepreneur, here to just, you know, discuss his experience going from a young black man exposed to the banking and financial industry, rising through the ranks at a financial institution, and eventually making that leap into entrepreneurship and empowering others to do the same. So, taking a break. Coming back on the other side, we're going to wrap this up, put a little bow on it, because we can't keep him here all night. We got another...
Even though I love to stay.
Right. And we have another, I should say a few other dope guests who are going to join me during the 9 p.m. hour. So you definitely want to stay tuned for that. Okay, so you're in the lounge, WURD Radio, 96.1 FM, 900 AM. We'll be back after these messages.
Reality check. Reality check. Hosted by Charles Ellison. Monday through Thursday, 4 p.m. till 7 p.m. Right here on Word Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Streaming live on wordradio.com.
I ain't no better than you, and you ain't no better than me. But we all have something in common. We all are in species. Seeds of God's creation.
Tune in to Messages in the Music every Friday night with Joey T, midnight to 6 a.m. right here on WURD.
Support independent black media and join the onWURD movement now at 215-425-7875 or visit wordradio.com.
We filmed 15 Pennsylvania kids who were all waiting to be adopted and asked what having a family and permanent home would mean to them.
I want a family just to accept me for who I am, to be there just to support me whenever I'm needing it.
To be matched with a family would be amazing. I won't be in a system all the time.
Visit adoptpakids.org to watch the video, meet the kids, and learn how you can become a foster or adoptive parent.
Paid for with Pennsylvania taxpayer dollars.
Word TV. We're streaming live video of this conversation right now. Tune in on YouTube at onWURD or on Facebook at onWURD. Word TV. Black Talk Media. The Lounge with Sincerely Sarita. Sincerely Sarita. Right now on Word Radio.
Look, my end of this is dedication. This is anti-hesitation. It's a real celebration. It's a dime block declaration. 59th and 5th Ave, granny house with vanilla wafers. It's the remedy to separation. Tupac of my generation. Blue pill in the open matrix. Red rose in the great pavement. Young black nigga trapped and he can't change it. Know he a genius, he just can't claim it. Cause they left him no platforms to explain it. He frustrated so he get faded. Like deep down inside he know you can't fade him. How long should I stay dedicated? How long till opportunity meet preparation? I need some real work and reparations. Or I run up in your bank just for recreation. Dedication, hard work, plus patience. To some more of my sacrifice, I'm done waiting. Told you that I wasn't playing. Now you hear what I've been saying. Dedication. Dedication. Look.
I spent my whole life thinking out the box. Boxing homies, 3-on-1, got DP, but I ain't dropped. Chirp on me, here I come. Spin around the block, they blurted on me. Said I ran a stop sign, but that's a lie. I spent my whole life staring at the stage, playing Sega, daddy smoking Sherm, mama playing spades, catching vapors. Grandma said I get some Jordans for my grades, that's my baby. When she died, my heart broke 100 ways. I spent my whole life trying to make it, trying to chase it. The cycle of a black man divided, trying to break it. You take a log and shit, don't cry about it, just embrace it. Mine a setback for major comeback, that's my favorite. My N.L. said you do it song with nip, K-Dot here better grip. I said here man first, you hear the words out his lips about flourishing from the streets to black businesses. Level 4 y'all living, giving to false imprisonment. Listen close, my nigga, it's bigger than deuces and foes. My son in this elementary, we close, my nigga, get straight like that. I give you the game, go back to the turf and give it right back. For generations we've been dealt bad hands with bad plans. Prove your dedication by hopping out Grand Ams. I'm at the premiere, politicking with Top Nip and Snoop. I ain't Pac watching the way we groove. Dedication.
If it ain't congratulating, it look like hate. If it ain't congratulating, it look like what Nip said.
Hold up. Blah. This ain't entertainment. It's fucking on a slave ship. These soldiers and spirituals I swam against them waves with. Ended up on shore to their amazement. Now I hope the example I set's not contagious. Lock us behind gates but can't tame us. Used to be stay safe, now stay dangerous. Cause ain't no point in playing defense. That's why I dove off the deep end without a life jacket. Couple mil, tour the world, all my life cracking. Cook the books, bring it back so there's no taxes. Royalties, publishing, plus our own masters. I'd be made if I slave for some white shit. As I was mapping this out, I hit the heights backwards. Hopping out the 85 and Reebok classes. Ran a couple marathons just to get established. To make it happen, you got to have dedication. Hard work, plus patience. To some more of my sacrifice, I'm done waiting. Told you that I wasn't playing. Now you hear what I've been saying. Dedication.
Nipsey Hussle with Dedication. The marathon continues. You're in the lounge on WURD Radio 96.1 FM 900 AM. I'm your host, Sincerely Sarita. Top of the week, you know, we're talking motivation, dedication, but of course, also, you know, money, major focus on mentorship. We've been keeping that conversation rolling since we started, but I mean, really kind of diving a little deeper into it within the past few weeks. And so within that whole realm, we have Rashawn Howard. He's the alignment coach, and he's an entrepreneur here who's been discussing his experience going from being a young black man exposed to the banking and financial industry to, rising the ranks at a financial institution, and eventually going on to become an entrepreneur and end founder, with a desire to give back to the community. So I want to kind of zero in a bit on that moment where you go from rising up the ranks within a banking institution to then realizing that it's time to pivot. It's time to go the entrepreneurial route or to go to the next move. Like what all went into that decision making for you?
First, I'm going to say, when the signs are there, listen.
Mm-hmm.
Listen. But if you don't, it's okay. It's never too late. But when the signs are there, listen.
Mm-hmm.
Once I went from junior advisor to senior advisor, and I really had the opportunity to learn what it was like to be a financial advisor at a banking institution, I realized that wasn't where I needed to be as an advisor. I realized that the banking institution wasn't going to allow me to assist the clients in the community that I wanted to assist them in the way I needed to assist them, the way they needed me to assist them. And that's when I knew it was time to pivot.
What do you mean by that?
So,
what was the community and what was the way that you wanted to assist them and that you felt they needed?
So it's so important to me to help us, especially in underserved at-risk communities. But as a banker, I realized that we've made it, but yet we're still living check for check. And in a banking institution, if you don't have $200,000, $250,000 sitting in a banking account or somewhere that can be transferred over, they don't want anything to do with you. And for me, I wasn't okay with that because I'm sitting here chasing large lump sums of money when that's not why I got in the financial field. That's not why I became a financial professional. That's not why I wanted to be a financial advisor. I'm no longer teaching and mentoring and giving knowledge to the community that needs it most. I'm sitting here battling and fighting against other financial advisors for those who are already wealthy and have the knowledge, the power, and the tools. And that's when I realized this is not where I need to be anymore because I am no longer living and waking up to do my passion every day. I'm living and I'm waking up to do something that's called a job.
Mm-hmm.
And instead of enjoying what I do, I'm not enjoying it. I'm sluggish. I don't want to get up on Monday. I'm not motivated on Monday. I don't want to go into the branch or the office because I realize what I'm doing is not fun for me anymore. And I don't think I'm making that impact that I need to make on the people that I want to make it for. And that's when I knew it was time to pivot.
Mm-hmm. And so how'd you go about making that pivot? I mean, because one part of it is like, the grind is not always going to be shiny.
No,
right?
No,
like,
and mine definitely wasn't and is not.
It's not always going to be shiny. So like we were even talking about like how we wake up on Monday mornings and like when you need that coffee and when you don't and all that good stuff. And whether you're an entrepreneur or working a 9-to-5, that grind is never always going to be shiny. But I think one thing that I'm hearing you say is like what was really lacking for you, it wasn't necessarily waking up and doing the work as much as it was waking up and knowing that you weren't helping the people that you actually wanted to help.
Exactly.
So how did you then pivot to moving in a direction that allowed you to help the people that you want to help?
It was hard. It was super hard because one, you're going away from a comfortability, right? So you have to take that leap. And it's not like there was $1 million in the bank. What I was doing was already technically a commission job, but when you have consistent referrals coming in and a consistency of, I'm guaranteed to have X amount of clients per week because I have these bankers that's going to bring these clients to me, to I need to now go on my own, start my own practice, and now I have to go build my own client base. And I have this nonprofit that I want to start that's connected to this for-profit that's really going to allow me to get deep in the community and really make a difference. But I can't do that here because now the job is in the way of the dream. And you need to, this is for all of y'all. Listen to me. Don't just quit your job because you have this dream. Work the job until the job is in the way of the dream, which means that the job is holding you back from the amount of revenue and impact you can make on your dream. But you can still work the dream on the side. So that's what I did for 6 months. I woke up on my 30th birthday, January 25th, 2018, and I realized, listen, I'm not where I need to be. But there was a couple reasons why. One, I was too comfortable in my position. Two, I did not have the right circle and the right people around me. So I had to make some strong, hard decisions, and I had to get rid of some people that I spent most of my time with because they weren't on the same mentality, the same wavelength that I was on. So in order for me to get to the next level, I now need to put myself in a room of people that's there or working in the same pathway as me. So to make that transition, one, I had to change my circle. Two, I had to get comfortable with being uncomfortable. And three, I had to figure out how am I going to grind and make up this what I consider a consistent income in order for me to be able to live and do what I need to do. And it was hard at first. But there's rideshare programs out here, and there's so many grinds that we can do now.
Shout out to the rideshare drivers.
Shout out to the rideshare drivers.
AKA me.
What we need to do in our community, too, is stop being embarrassed about being a rideshare driver, or stop being embarrassed about being on a bike and giving deliveries. Do what you need to do to get that coin so that way you can accomplish the dream and do what you want to do.
Gotcha. We got to let you go.
You gotta let me go.
Yes.
Oh no, I'm having too much fun.
Look, I was like, I see him.
I'm just getting started.
And I'm like, dang, bro.
I'm just getting started.
I need you to come back down. We gotta go. We gotta go. No, but we're definitely gonna have to have you back at some point. But in the meantime, you got the mentality of success, darn near textbook-like situation popping off here.
Yes.
And you also have social media and all that good stuff. So we like to do shameless plugs around here. So let folks know Rashawn Howard, alignment coach, right?
Yes.
Where to find you at, follow you at, all of that good stuff.
Okay, great. First thing you need to do is go to Amazon.com, research Mentality of Success, and purchase that book right now. And then you need to go on Instagram at Mr. R.M. Howard, make it easy for y'all, Mr._R.M. Howard, and follow me there. And then make sure you hit YouTube and subscribe to my channel, search me, Rashawn Howard, and watch all of those videos, all the Motivational Monday videos, all the words of wisdom, and stay tuned. Episode 1 is already loaded, but episode 2 is coming out. Mentality of Success, mind, body, and soul, helping you crush the rest of 2019. And I want to thank you so much for having me. I love Word Radio. I had so much fun today.
We enjoyed
you know, getting laid back in the lounge. It was fun.
Listen. Q4.
Q4.
We're here.
That's it.
It's going
2020
down.
around the corner.
Mentality of success is like, we got to get it done.
Yes.
We got to close out strong. And shout out to all the folks that's been pushing through, you know, the not so positive, not so amazing, not so polished circumstances. Nonetheless, you persevere, right? Like you decide how the next 3 months roughly of your life is going to play out, and what you can do, what control and power you have over it, and that's where that mentality of success really plays a part. So thanks for joining us.
Thanks for having me. Thank you so much for having me.
All right, loves, we're taking a break. When we come back on the other side, there's this